guys, welcome back to the channel. Nuttyfoodiefitness here, featuring
Doucette.
Pretty sure you guys all know the screaming coach by now. Basically, Greg has competed for how many years?
Since 1994, so almost 30 years.
Wow.
Long time.
So Greg's got a lot of experience with obviously lifting, posing, the whole shebang. So today Greg is going to talk me through how to actually pose, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I tense my abs and that's about it.
Yeah, so we're going to show you how to do the proper poses, from the front double bicep, the back double bicep, the thigh abdominals, all different poses, even just how to stand relax, and perhaps you're planning on competing one day, or even if you just want to hit a selfie and do it properly, we're going to show you exactly how to do that.
Because the first time when you assessed my body fat percentage and I sent you a video of me tensing my quads, I had absolutely no idea how to do it. You don't get taught these things. So that's why Greg's coming in and he's going to teach us how to pose. As of now, you're going to see photos on my Instagram where I've got quads out of nowhere because Greg has taught me how to actually tense them.
And I remember when I first started posing and flexing, I thought it was easy, just kind of stand there, and you come to realize it's a science. You're flexing every single muscle all at the same time while trying to look happy. Try smiling and flexing everything. It's like, oftentimes it looks like you're taking a poop, and you just gotta learn to relax the face while flexing for all your work, and it is harder than it looks.
Okay. I'm ready.
First off, let's just learn how to stand relaxed from the front. When you're being judged in bodybuilding or women's bikini and whatnot, you basically walk out on stage and you're standing there and they're going to judge you. Starting with your feet, you want your heels to be about 6 inches apart maximum, and your toes are pointing outwards. Absolutely. Your knees are slightly bent, and so you're pushing outwards, and so that allows this muscle to flare up, and you can see the inner hamstring muscle on the man. So, as opposed to standing straight on like this, the legs don't look as big as if you twist them out like that. And you can see if it's ready by hitting. So, if you don't know if your legs are being contracted, tap on them. If they're not flexed, it's going to squish around like this. You can see, not flexed. Flexed, it's hard. Okay, and so that looks good. You can point your toes out slightly more.
Yeah.
Knees are slightly bent. That is good.
Okay.
So the legs are set. Next, you're trying to flex your abs here. She's flexing her abs, so she's basically, you can see the tension that's going on here. And at the same time, her hands are out to the side, relax.
Well, Greg just had some muscle come out here. I don't have that.
So what I'm doing is I'm flexing my lats out.
I have no idea how to do that.
This muscle pushed outwards.
How do you do that?
There it is. This side's out. This side needs to press more. And so just twist it a bit more like this. Yes, and then there. Let's bang on. She's got the pose. So you can see the abdominals. You can see some veins coming right here. You can see the shoulders. Everything's there. You can see definition in the quads. And that's
what do I do with the hands?
Typically, the smaller you make your hands like that, the bigger everything else looks. Some people also like to flare out the fingers and try to look more elegant. So it depends on how you want to look. I like to see the hands squeezing together.
Why is this so hard?
Because you're flexing everything. You can't really breathe. Every time you breathe, your stomach goes in and out, and so it doesn't look as tight. To flex your abdominals, you need to blow out all your air. The other option for this pose, which if you don't really have strong abdominals, you can do, you suck in as much as you can, which makes the stomach look smaller and the chest look bigger. You breathe in, deep chest air, and you try to make your chest expand as much as possible. And then just stand there.
Like
there. So we have two ways: flexing abs like this, versus.
I don't think I can do this one.
You're much better at that because you're consistently showing your abdominals in photos. Other people, they don't even have abs. They don't have abs at all. So what would be the point of kind of flexing if they don't have them? If you don't have any abs at all, they're going to make you really smaller. You suck in and make your chest full of air. The smaller it is, the better. That is how you want it to look. So you're kind of standing upright, small little waist, sucking out, chest big, expanded. It's hard.
Do you know the hardest thing for me is definitely this this lat engagement. Any tips for how to...
Don't overdo it as a tip. People will walk like this. I did a show and I didn't know what to do, and I flexed my entire time like this. Rather than this, relax a little bit and just relax, but you're actually tensing the biceps too. You can see that vein pop out, but I flex. Hands can be in a fist if you want to make it really small. I like to have the thumb inside my hand. And there it is. And for you, that's the pose you want. And then they'll say, turn and face the rear. You're like, thank God I'm dying. And you just, then you can turn, and then we're going on to our second pose.
Okay.
So, no breath because they're always judging you. So turn and face the rear.
Fine, it's fine.
And you're smiling like, I'm ready to pass out, but I'm still smiling.
Yeah. So now, whilst we're doing the back one, it's going to be like this.
Exactly, breathing out, relax. Now, this arguably even harder because you're standing and facing the rear and you don't see your back. So what I suggest is people have a mirror in the front and a mirror in the back. First thing we do, heels are closer to the toes, toes are pointed out, slightly off the heel, just like a millimeter or two. If I hit here, yeah, you're there. The next thing we flex is the hamstring muscle, which is here. Flex and flex. If you touch that and it's not, like, and it's moving, then it's not engaged. So from behind, we're trying to imagine doing this with this foot and this with that foot, and it flex the hamstring muscle. So slightly off the ground for the calves, that's good. Tense here and there, good. So we want this to widen up. We need these lats out, spread. So we're pushing the scapula out. So we're trying to get the lats to come out wide so their waist is small. And so think of being able to stretch out further in here, here. Now, one thing we can do to think about it is we're going to put your hands on each side here. So if you just think of it being small like this and stretch it out, you're trying to bring these muscles as wide as humanly possible.
Where's your fingers?
Exactly, right there. Yep, and you're just trying to push out. So we want to see this go to the sides. So bring it forward, yep, get the pose, bring it forward, last, yep, there it is. So you can see how it automatically comes out that way. If we push out, okay, and now let's relax this.
Oh my God, this is so difficult.
Push back to the side.
Easy.
So we see that pointing out, we're trying to work on getting our scapula out. So it's wider, wider, wider. Still wobbling up there a bit. You're getting close. So it's coming, it's close. That's pretty good. You're getting a lot of wind now. You have a small waist. There, you hit it. Now, relax the hands and let's see if it stays in the same spot. That's pretty good. And so there is your relaxed pose from the rear, and she's still flexing here and here, so you can imagine just how difficult it is. And relax. Well, oftentimes competitors are dehydrated on stage, really hard, you're ready to pass out, you're sitting there. Bright lights are there, there's no fans, you're sweating, your tan is coming off, very difficult to do.
This is so much harder than it seems. Like, you think that posing is just like a little flex and you smile, whole different story.
It can be harder than working out, literally.
This is honestly harder.
The funny thing was, your relaxed pose, you could see your muscles shaking from sensing.
I was there like thinking, I'm so glad that no one's looking at my face right now because
oh yeah, just like...
Yeah. I just need a drink. One sec.
It's no joking.
Well, yeah, it is what, like, normally people will hire a coach for an hour of posing, and they'll do that every week for like 12 weeks. So let's get to the front poses. A front double bicep pose. Okay. Everyone's favorite, I think. Because she has strong abs, we're going to be hitting with the abs showing and the biceps, and so you're going to blow out all your air, flexing the abs. Remember, we're doing everything the same from the ground up. We've already got that under control. Everything the same, flexing the quads, abs flex, front double bicep. All right, straight ahead. Now the first thing I noticed, the biceps should be higher than the deltoid. So let's bring that up slightly. That's good. Quads are good, hitting the pose right. Awesome.
Hands are shaking.
For women, sometimes open up the hands like this. You can do that. There. That is a women's physique pose. That is an excellent pose. Really well women's physique. Now, although she has kind of a bikini body, in this pose, she does look like she could compete in women's physique.
She's great.
And you're shaking. This is your body saying, shut off, turn on, shut off, turn on. It happens all the time. People are on stage and people are doing that, and a lot of times the judges are like, oh, look how nervous she is. I'm like, she ain't nervous.
Yeah,
your body's
you just
just
can't.
twitching to shut off and turn on. Your body's saying, don't flex, and then your mind's saying, no, don't flex.
And how long would I be holding that pose for on stage?
From the start of the pose to the end, it would be a maximum of 10 seconds, but probably more, so 5 to 8 seconds.
So how long did I just hold that for? Because that felt like 3 minutes. It was probably about 3
Probably
seconds.
about 10 seconds. So let's do the pose again. Round up, abs hit. The toes are out nice and wide. Keep your legs, that glutes are being slightly bigger. Wall the ears, biceps up. Good. And oftentimes what I see is the biceps are too low. Oftentimes people, almost all the time, will send me a picture like this. And I'm like, yeah, you can see your arms. It looks like, here it is. Confidence, get the arms up, way up there. Not even level. It looks better to have your arms here than here. This is perfect all that way. Get them up.
So
Perfect.
cool.
And relax. Next up, we're going to do from the rear. Tap. Make sure it's flexed.
Yeah.
Once it's flexed, round up, hamstring flex, turn in, flex. Make sure your elbows are higher. So you're flexing this as hard as you can. You're also flexing this as hard as you can. And then you're flexing your back and your biceps all hard as you can.
So it's like that sort of thing.
That right leg should be back about 6 inches more, a little bit further back.
This one.
Yep, place it, bend your knee, right here, bend the knee, flex your heart. And what we want is your back to lean back slightly, because the back being closer to the judges will look bigger, the waist will look smaller. This, back that way. That brings the delts backwards and makes your shoulders look even bigger. Cock backwards. That looks good. And so you're looking as a judge to see all the different bumps and grooves going on. The leaner you get, the more you can see the little edges and curves and whatnot. You're looking at the calf, so I can see clear definition of the calves. Your body fat has to be quite low to see this. Smaller the waist, the wider you look, you can see she's got calf delts, good pose. That's it. So you learned that one quite quick. That was not a bad pose.
Oh man, that's hard. That is hard.
Next up, thigh abdominals. I think you have a lot of practice.
Okay, we'll just put this on the back again. It's really difficult. Like, it's really difficult. I'm not even playing.
This is not something you learn in 5 minutes. This is something where if you're doing a competition, typically you hire a posing coach. You spend a full hour with your coach every single week, 3 to 4 months leading up to the show, plus you're practicing on your own every single day.
With the heels as well, right?
Absolutely.
Quarter turn to the right, and some of that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm not dainty like that.
And so let's do the thigh and abdominal. So I'll explain this. So you start out, you just take one leg, toes out, and you're basically pushing, almost like you're going to flick up a soccer ball or something up in the air. You have this muscle floating like that, and the leg is twisted this way, not straight on, this way. Look how much bigger my leg looks like this.
I don't have that though.
That. Hands over your head. Blow out every bit of air that you've ever had.
What are you doing with your hands?
I put them behind my head, anyway behind the head. If you have your hands here, not so good. And so plant the feet. Let's see.
Here.
Straight up. Blow out the air. Tight. And what you're looking for is obliques as well as the abdominals. That looks great. And so you're also flexing the bicep, which is hard to remember. And that's the thing. You have to have every single pose flexed. This looks like a good women's physique pose. Legs are flexed, abs are out, biceps are there, and you have shallow breaths while smiling. Not easy to do. You got it. You did it. You're good.
I was waiting for the and relax. The judges are still watching me, so I kept on smiling as if I'm not even trying.
And after that, then it's relaxed. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's tough.
So in between, you can't be like, you've got to constantly be tensing.
Absolutely.
That's the hard part.
So we're going to demonstrate the side chest. We're going to do it in both the way that women also do it, as well as men. And frankly, you can do it the way you want. You can identify as a man or woman. I don't care. It's a circle.
Yeah.
So we're going to go for both poses. We're just going to flex this leg to the side. You're going to hold your hands together, one on top of the other. And you're basically thinking, okay, I want to see some vascularity, some veins. You're pulling here a little bit so that you see your shoulders. Good. Hand over hand, but not so much the wrist, but more so here.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to put it out more this way and twist that way. You flex more so out here, like that. You're a bit like this. It's a bit too much like this. You want to be a bit more out here and turn that way. And you're flexing your leg and twisting to the side. It's better. You're bordering on how the males would do it more so. Like just because you're kind of like here, it's a bit more like this. It's a bit more straight. Yeah, there it is. Higher a little bit, and then more of a twist. So you kind of, yeah, there it is. You're getting it. Yeah, that's a lot.
What do I do with my head?
Smile and look like you're having the best time of your life on stage. There it is. If you're happy and confident, the judges see that. The audience is like, they're like, oh, look at that girl. She's having such a great time flexing her muscles. I like that. But if you're like, it's just most people would have their arms straighter and see if you can get this arm above, up here, and twisting more, you can see more of the pecs, like you're flexing that chest up here. Looks good. Now we're gonna try the male's pose. Your hand on your wrist, and you're just pulling it in like this, and that's it. There's not much to it. So let's start from the ground up. Place your toe up. Yep. Flex the calf. Yeah. And you're engaging all these muscles. Flex and up. There we go. Try to peek up that arm. Chest up higher. And so you can see that's the difference between like bodybuilding, that would be like the bodybuilder pose, versus women's physique. It's a bit more elegant. So the women's physique more so like this, versus men's pose like down right here. You're really flexing this arm, show the bicep off.
Legs are shaking.
You're hoping you can put a cup of water on your chest. So women's physique like this, men's bodybuilding like that.
I'm actually sweating.
So when are you going to compete? When's the date?
And if you think this is bad, women's bikini just as hard. I'm not going to even pretend that I can walk in heels. It's very difficult to do. So women's bikini posing just as hard as men. You're thinking, well, they're not flexing as much.
Constantly on the calves, aren't you?
And with the back arching, it's hard in a different way, but all very hard to do.
I think just based on this, I don't know, we've been posing for about half an hour.
Yeah.
Half an hour. I already knew that posing would be difficult, but I underestimated just how hard it is, especially holding the pose for like 10 seconds and then go straight to another. There's no rest.
Another thing people don't understand is if you practice posing more, you get that better mind-muscle connection, and when you go back there and you hit hamstrings, and you're used to saying, okay, I'm flexing my hamstrings here, and when you do your hamstring curls, you're going to be that much better to engage it. Your brain immediately knows where it is. The more you practice and the more you know what your muscles are doing, the better you are. Like you should be able to flex your bicep without moving your arm. Like if you can't do this without, like flex your arm, anyone can do that, but can you get your bicep tight?
Not tense, bro.
Bicep, why do you think it's called a bicep? There's two muscles, and so you can literally poke a finger in between them. Like if you just find it, that's putting a hole in between my biceps. Try it, and then when you flex it, you can see it's pushing my finger out.
Yeah, I found it.
Pec minor, pec major, like you can see what's going on, you can see the big indentation. Looks cool. Once you're single digit body fat and so on, you can see that. For women, you know, under 20%, you need to see some conditioning.
I'll just demonstrate that for Greg because he's not lean enough.
Take over for Greg.
Should have a cleavage off. A cleavage.
Okay, we are officially done with the posing. I definitely underestimated how hard this was. So freaking hard. How do you think I did though? If you were coaching me and that was like the first session, what would you think?
Way above average compared to somebody who's never done it, especially the abs. Most people have to spend a whole hour session on how to flex the abs. It takes weeks, months, years to pose perfectly. The hardest thing for you is literally just getting the ladder. And so out of everything else, you caught on really quick. And so your posing is far above average. I mean, if you practice for say 4 hours, 4 sessions, I think you'd be ready to hit the stage.
Damn! Big compliment. Thanks a lot. Head coach Greg, he clearly thinks I've got a little bit of potential there. Let me know in the comments below whether you think I should one day step on stage, or whether I should just stick to the triathlon and the endurance.
Or do both. I've done both. I've done triathlons, I've done bodybuilding, I've done bike races. You can always do both.
Why limit yourself? All I'm going to say is, this was harder than the training. Posing
and the training was hard.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
So I hope that paints the picture. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot to Greg for teaching me his ways. And stay nutty, my friends.
Natty, Natty.
They could be both.
Or both.
Or both. I'm going to say link all your stuff. I mean, everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, it's all good.
In the description box below.
And so you start all your poses from the... Sorry, I was thinking, do I have to do that intro for him? But
your left lat, easy popping out, and your right one will come out.
I kept pushing until...
Yeah, and you did that, and I saw it kind of here.
Like from the back, it looked like kind of like this.
But Steph, I've never seen you do your lats.
It's like this lat was out and this one's kind of like that. I'm like, let's get it out. And I'm like,
It pushed it out.
and it comes in.